how are you?
Yeah.
But when you say, or when I say, how are you, I mean, how is, how is, how is society affecting you?
Yeah. Rattled is rattled is the best way to put it, because if I physically talk about it, it's like I feel very shaky when I go out there. I go out there. It's not always mine. It's other people's energy that I pick up on. But also having to interact with people who want to avoid themselves, and feeling it within myself, like and knowing that I'm not in my complete pure state to be able to meet you there in a pure space, if that makes sense. So I'm just like solitude. I don't really want to be around people like that. Yeah, because I found like in the last couple of weeks I've been rattled, and I can't explain it. Little things like memory loss, or like, you know, just forgetting things, or my normal organization is just gone out the window, or things are happening and you're thinking, well, am I being spiritually attacked here? I'm losing my phone, all sorts of madness, and I'm just thinking, what's going on out here? But at the same time, I think it's important to acknowledge it, which I do. So what I never used to do is acknowledge it and be like, I'm not in a, I'll just escape, party, go and meet friends, avoid talking about this stuff. But now, yeah, it's been heavy. Even my sleep has been off. So all these little things are signs. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how do you respond to that? Is to sit with it for a little bit and say, okay, if this uncomfortability has a message, what would be the message? It's not to suffer from it. It's to say, okay, what is this telling you? But in the moment, flipping out, bro. Yeah, I don't want to be around no one. People, I'm just off. You know, like, you know, when you're off, you're just like
100%.
But at the same time, it made me think as well. Like, I was like, but should we even be out here in this place at this time, in this season? Nature ain't out here socializing and trying to do the most. I'm trying to do the most in a place when I should be resting. Do you get what I'm saying? I should be resting because the season's telling me I should be resting. It's cold out there, it's raining. Sit down,
It's like,
go in.
Is it time for me to go out?
Yeah, I'm going out to avoid myself. What am I doing? I'm talking up the thing. So really, it's been more about humble yourself, shut up, sit down, go back home, try and get as much time with yourself, whether it's, obviously I like movement, so I like to like move things through my body. So swimming, for instance, or running, but sitting with yourself, just how are you? Are you sitting with yourself? And I weren't really doing that, like how you do it. Do you get what I'm saying? I weren't doing that, no way, like just sitting. So I find now, because I can't sleep, I'm having to sit with myself.
Yeah.
And just hold my hands on my heart and just sleep. Not even sleep, just close my eyes and say, where am I at? And I'm feeling like shit, uncomfortability. Like there's just stuff, uncomfortability, back of the head, uncomfortability, backache. What's going on here? So yeah, I haven't been in the best form recently, to be fair. If I'm honest, I felt very anxious. I felt a bit overwhelmed. And I noticed that people will say that, you know, yeah, you need to fill your own cup and recharge and do it. But when it comes to actually doing it, they don't respect it.
You see, when you give the response that you give, it messes it up for everybody else. Because it can't be just you that feels what you feel.
No. Listen, anyone in this plane in the UK, I can't speak for any, it can't be okay. And you know what's crazy, bro? Lots of people are getting sick of cancer. Cancers, I don't know what's going on. Cancer is popping up everywhere. And cancer is a sign of like illness within your body, right? Which means there is, when I sat with this guy, Dr. Aubrey, and he was saying that cancer shows up when you don't emotionally address certain things within your body. Do you get what I'm saying? Because people think it's just the food. Nah, it's a food attached with the environment, attached with the emotions, attached with your spirit kind of side of thing. So when people are saying, oh yeah, it's just the food we're eating, no, like, we're not okay, right? We're not okay. And I mean, in observation, I've not seen a start of the so-called year like this where I've seen so many people not okay. And because I have lots of conversations. When I have a conversation when people say, how are you? I'm like, yeah, I'm not, like, I've told work, like I've said, no, I'm not in, you're not going to get the best out of me at the moment because I'm emotionally overwhelmed. Like, there's a lot going on at home, and credit to them, they've changed how they're supporting me. They've given me the options of different things, which is what you do. But also, most people think, well, if I'm okay, if I say I'm okay, then it means I can avoid everything. But you're avoiding it anyway. I avoid going into it, but really going into it is the answer, because that's the suffering.
Yeah.
That's where we get sick.
Yeah.
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 So, based on that, where are you at? How are you?
I think the perfect response to that for me is, I'm just feeling. I'm feeling things.
Do you feel it all? Like,
no, I'm able to identify a lot of the stuff that I do because of research. And then what I do is I reflect on it, and I'm like, so how does that affect me? And I'm like, well, I'm not special, so it must be affecting me in some way, shape or form. And then I look at the results of that. What do I like? What don't I like? What do I eat? What don't I eat? What am I... What's the shit that I'm consuming?
That's important.
Via my eyes, food, whatever it is. It's like, of course, I'm affected by this thing. I just haven't been taught how to unpack it. When you ask me, it should be kind of difficult for me to respond to it, because there ain't nowhere in the 3 decade plus that I've been here that anyone's taught me how. No one's taught me how to unpack this thing. But it's interesting because when I do say the stuff that I say on a regular, that's me unpacking, 100%. Reflecting, giving it back. But they still don't want to hear it. So it's like, when I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, you don't really want me to do it. But then when you realise therapy and you start doing, therapy is necessary. Talk is necessary. I've not got an issue with that part. But, for example, we've spoken about things like language many times. I hate the language because through the language I can say, because I can't feel anything, I'm okay. But what if I've been numbed down? What if I've been numbed down and then I'm telling you, it's okay. If that don't affect me, then I'm fine. But you're numbed down. How is this not affecting you?
Yeah, you're right. You make a valid point around that whole what you're consuming, because people don't realize, like, you might not talk it, as you said, language. That's the block. The language to me is the block. Language can throw you left and right, but you look at the body and the energy and all that, you get your answers. But when we're consuming things that are like for me, I know when I'm not looking after myself, because I just start consuming I'll just consume anything. So I'm like, I'm not honouring myself, because I know better than this. Do you get what I'm saying? So then I'm like, I know I'm not honouring myself. I'm consuming this thing to numb me or to feel a short-term satisfaction, avoidance, whatever it is. So, and then that can be done in many different ways. You can be consuming porn to, do you get what I'm saying? You can be consuming music, and all these things. But in essence, it's to avoid you being able to really unpack.
100%.
It's put there so you avoid yourself, because when you see someone who's tuned into themselves, you can't.
And you've seen the results of it. Like, you see it more so than anybody else because of the amount of conversations that we've had. When you put yourself around the individuals that are running, they don't know how to move
Yeah.
with you. They can't function with
Yeah.
you because they know you can see them.
Because
there's no running.
they're expecting me to be
and
the
you
consumer.
was once them. Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't need to be the consumer of this or the success, because that to me, the success is not out there anymore. It's got to be in here. Like